how do we solve a quadratic equation? To solve a quadratic equation, we have many different ways, but almost all of them make use of the zero product rule. Now, what is a zero product rule? The zero product rule states that if the product of two algebraic numbers is 0, then either one or both of them are 0. Now, this is a very stated fact of maths. If you have a few numbers whose product is 0, the product is 0, it is possible only if one or more or all of them are 0. This is called the zero product rule. Let me make it more clear with the help of an example. 2x minus 3 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. Suppose we know this. This is possible only if either 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. That is, the product of these two numbers will be 0 only if any one or both of them are individually 0. So now we get two linear equations, 2x minus 3 equal to 0 and x minus 1 equal to 0. Solving these two equations, we get x is equal to 3 by 2 and x is equal to 1. So this is how we can solve almost all quadratic equations by breaking them into their factors, that is linear factors, and then using the zero product rule. Right, friends? The zero product rule, what is it? If the product of two or more numbers is 0, then one or more or all of them are 0. So we break down a quadratic equation into two factors, linear factors, and then use the zero product rule to find the answers. In this way, we can find the roots of the quadratic equation. So now, first method that we will be doing is solving by the factorization method. Factorization method, as we know, what is factorization? In terms of factorization, suppose we have 12. When we say that factorize 12, what we do is we find the prime factors of 12, or for that matter we find just the factors of 12. So it can be 2 into 6, it can be 3 into 4, or anything like that. So this we call as the factorization, right? In this method, we try to find the solution to a quadratic equation by first factorizing it and then using the zero product rule. So we will first have to factorize the quadratic equation and then we will use the zero product rule as we discussed earlier, the slide that we did before this. For example, let us find the equation 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Let us try to solve this equation by factorization. So for that, first I will take you through how we can factorize 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. I guess most of you are familiar with the splitting method of factorization. So I'll guide you through that once again. So we have 2x square minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. If we compare it with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, that is the standard form of quadratic equation, by the way. So we have a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 5 and c is equal to 3. Right, friends, this is very clear and very obvious. A is 2, B is minus 5 and C is 3. Right. So now what we have to do is we will find the product of A and C. Here A is 2, C is 3. The product of 2 and 3, what we get is 6. Then we need to find the pair of factors of 6. So 6 can be 1 into 6, or it can be 2 into 3, or it can be 3 into 2, and so on. But once we get a repeat factor, we do not generally consider any more factors or pair of factors after that. So we won't consider this. We'll just take 1 into 6 and 2 into 3. Now the next consideration that we have to do is of B. Now the next consideration that we have to do is of B. We have B as 5 and we need to see the signs of A and C. What is the sign over here? What is the sign of 2? Yes. Obviously, if there is no sign, it means the sign of 2 is plus. And what is the sign of C? Again, it is plus. So if A and C have the same signs, in this case, both have a plus sign, right? Then B is the sum of two different terms, right? But if A and C have different signs, one of them is plus and one of them is minus, no matter which one is plus and which one is minus, then B has to be considered as a difference of two numbers. So friends, sum, when the sign is same, we consider sum, and when the sign is different, we consider difference. Simple. Same, sum, different, difference. Clear? I hope it is very clear. When the sign of A and C is same, then we have to consider B as a sum of two numbers. And when the sign of A and C is different, then we have to consider B as a difference of two numbers, right? So here, sign of A and C is same, so B, that is 5, is the sum of two numbers. Now we have to see from these factors of 6, which is that pair whose sum is 5. Now I want you to answer this. Which one of these has a sum of 5? Is it 6 plus 1? No. Its sum is 7. Is it 2 plus 3? Yes, its sum is 5. So we will take 3 and 2. We simply will write 3 plus 2 in place of 5 and keep everything else the same. Won't make any change to the equation. Open the brackets, rearrange and factorize by grouping. So here we can take out a x as common. From here, what will be common from 2 and 3? HCF of 2 and 3 is 1, so we will take out 1 as common. So we get x minus 1 into 2x minus 3 equal to 0. So till this state, we have reached a point where we have broken down the quadratic equation into factors. We have factorized it, and now we will simply use the zero product rule. So how we do that? X minus 1 into 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, right? So either x minus 1 equal to 0 or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Solving these both, we get x equal to 1 or x is equal to 3 by 2. So this is the way in which we can find out the solution of a quadratic equation by the method of factorization. Let us go over it once again briefly. We have a quadratic equation and we want to solve it by factorization. We will apply any of the techniques, be it factorization by splitting or any such technique, and we will just factorize the quadratic equation, and then we will use the zero product rule to find the two answers. Hope I am very clear and making sense on how we can solve the quadratic equation by factorization. So let's move ahead.